Before we begin drawing curves with the pen tool, I just want to show you something, and this won't take long at all. Here's the ellipse tool, and I'm going to draw out a circle. I'm holding Option, draw from the center, Shift to make a perfect circle. And notice that there are 4 anchor points. See, they're 90 degrees, top and bottom, left and right, both sides. And these anchor points, if I hit the letter A to get the direct selection tool, I'm going to click away. And you can draw a rectangle around it. And notice that that anchor point is highlighted, it's solid, and these other ones are hollow. They are not selected. Hollow anchor points aren't selected, but you still can, even though they're not selected, you can affect them. You can affect the path that is defined by this handle by grabbing it and pulling on it, or pushing it, or moving it closer, or in the other direction. I'm going to hit Command-Z to undo that. So you can also, once you click on it, you can delete it. And all of a sudden the open path becomes a closed path. Hit Command-Z. But I want you to see the length of that handle, that one, and that one. These are all the same length. If I drag straight across like that, you're going to see these two are the same length. If I drag this way, you'll see these two are the same length. That type of symmetry makes this circle. And actually, you could define this circle with 2 points. But the box method of defining the bounds of shapes is kind of built into the math. So that's why we have 4 anchor points here. We are going to make gentle curves, not with 3 anchor points. We're going to make it with 2. When that curve is continuous, if it changes direction, sometimes we may need another one, sometimes not. It all depends on the curve. So think in terms of anchor points and these handles which control the direction as the path flows this way or this way. The length of these matters. The direction of these matters. If you want to move one independent of the other, I'm going to switch back to the pen tool and then hold down Option. And then notice I can move one side with this anchor point tool, which is this little V. And if you get confused, under the pen tool, you can see Add and Delete and the anchor point tool sitting here. And yes, they are individual tools, but we don't need those individual tools because, let me switch back just to the pen tool here and show you. I'm going to hit Command-Z to get back. If I want to add a point, I can click. Notice how that asterisk on the pen tool, if I go over the path, I just added a point to this path and I can change it. Oops, Command-Z. I clicked again and deleted it. So I'm going to click Command-Z to do that, to undo it. Click on it. I have it. If I hold down Option, I can now control those handles independent of one another, Command-Z. And you've already seen with the pen tool, or have you seen? I can click on this to delete it. But this time when I delete that, instead of deleting the connection between this side and this side, we still have these 2 handles. So if you delete with, I'm going to hit Command-Z, if you delete with the pen tool an anchor point, you still have 3 anchor points left, and we still have a closed path. And depending upon how these handles work, you change the shape of this closed path. So play around with it. I urge you, please don't just bypass this. Draw a circle. Play around. Add anchor points. Subtract anchor points. Get the direct selection tool, the anchor point tool. Get the direct selection tool. Play around with this. What happens when you do weird things? What do you make? What shapes are possible? Add anchor points. Play around. Move this stuff around. How can you leverage what you're learning here and start imagining what's possible? This comes before the drawing, so wrap your head around this. Practice this before you start the next video, and the next video is going to make a lot more sense.